Wisconsin Rapids Awards and More is more than just awards. They engrave guns, glass, wood, stainless steel, along with metal plates. Yes, they still provide custom trophies and medals for your event. At Awards and More, they even do t-shirts. Awards and More than just awards. 3622 8th Street South in Wisconsin Rapids. See them on Facebook and on the web. Welcome to the special edition of the Zaleski Sports Show. I am your host. I know, turning the tables here. Jason Zaleski. Special other host, Rachel Zaleski.
How does it feel to say that?
It didn't feel good because it didn't come out very well. But this is the way it is on a special edition when we're in different seats. I'm sitting over here, and it's a weird look all the way around.
I do with my hands.
Yeah. Well, we are here to announce our 2018 Fall Sports Athletes of the Year.
Woo!
Yeah, pretty exciting times. And so we are joined by Columbus Catholic's Nadim Torbey and Stratford's Mazie Nagel. Thank you for both being here today.
Thanks for having us.
Welcome.
Yeah. Well, go ahead. Welcome them in properly then.
Welcome to the Zaleski Sports Show. We're happy to have you guys here. Excellent players all year long, all season long, all
career long.
How's
that? Yeah.
So good job, guys. You guys really must have worked really hard to get here. So tell us a little bit more.
Okay, all right. Well, let's start with Nadim. He's got a really cool stat to talk about, and I know we're going to find out through the show here kind of some things about both of you. We both got to know Nadim over the last couple of years. Always kind of a low key, humble guy, right? Always kind of like, yep, it's cool. We're just hanging out, all those kind of things. So I'd expect that reaction here. Mazie's got a little bit more flair to her, so they're going to balance each other well, I think. So over the course of your career, Nadim, 122 goals scored. That is an excellent achievement. Turns out it's fourth on the all-time list in Wisconsin. 34 goals this year. So we'll just start with you as our male athlete of the year for fall sports. Just talk about the first time that you kicked the ball, and how did that how did you choose soccer? How did you know that was it?
Well, when I was younger, all the parents make their kids do the rec soccer league because they need exercise, and that's really how I started. And I used to actually not like it that much. I used to be more of a basketball guy, but then I'm like, maybe I like soccer more. So then I started practicing soccer a lot more, and I guess I just kept practicing and kept trying to improve, for the team, and that's how I got into soccer. Yeah, okay. And then as your time went in soccer, how did you know that was the one? You were kind of a basketball guy. Yeah, how did you know? I mean, was it a certain moment, a certain kick, the goal, the crowd cheering? I mean, what kind of hooked you into soccer? I guess I started realizing that I was actually better than I thought I was, and my coaches were telling me that too. So I'm like, well, guess I can stick with this, because if you're good at it, why stop? Right. Okay. Well, and you, like I said, you climbed all the way to number 4 in the all-time Wisconsin goals scored list. So that's an achievement you'll have for the rest of your lifetime. And congratulations for that. We'll talk to Nadim more about some of his history as being a student athlete as the show goes on. So we'll turn to Mazie, and Mazie, but just what a remarkable high school career you had. Certainly one of the most ferocious volleyball players I think I've run across. I mean, in all honesty, we talked about it throughout the year, but when you hit the ball, you hit it angrily. I mean, you were mad at the ball most times, but I mean that's aggression. That's aggressive play. I know Rachel likes to talk about aggressive play a lot, but those were one of those things. And you just over the course of your career, you became that team leader. You were somebody that the rest of the girls turned to, especially in your senior year, for that stability, that rock, that somebody that they could look up to. So congratulations on a great career, back-to-back state appearances with the Stratford Tigers. So that's, again, an accomplishment you'll have for the rest of your life. Brought home a trophy this year out of the experience. So all the credit, obviously to the team, but you were, the part of that. That's why this plaque is sitting in front of you, just because of your place on the team. So same question then, right? Think back to a number of years ago, and a volleyball came and maybe hit you in the head, and I know you've returned that favor a few times over the years, but just how did that all begin for you, and why volleyball?
So it probably started around 7th grade year. Wasn't too interested in it, didn't really want to play, didn't find it that fun, and so I told my parents I was going to quit it. So 8th grade year comes around, and I'm like, I'll just give it one more shot, see what's happening. And that's when I think I fell in love with it, is just like the competitiveness you got from a higher level from 7th to 8th grade. And so I just continued with it.
And then we'll talk a little bit specifically maybe about a couple of games this year. I'm not going to mention any team names or scores or that thing, but certainly for any of us that observed you play during these last 2 years, there were certain times that on the attack you would get your takeoff started, right? And the girl on the other side of the net would back up. Right. So what went through your head when you're in your takeoff, and the set is put up, and a lot of those sets, Jaden Dalkey and others were doing that, and then the girls on the other side were backing up. Tell us about what goes through your mind when that happens.
So I play very competitively, and I think if you're not playing competitively, you're not playing to win. So that's how I go on that mentality every game. So every hit, they would back up, but it's just because I would hit it with all my power and just to hope to win.
Right. Right. Okay. Well, good. Well, it was a lot of fun to watch, and I think for both of you, there's a chance. We'll find out. We're going to ask you some more pointed questions as it goes on here, but see if there's any chance to watch you compete in the future, so you can kind of think about those answers as we go. But I'm sure you both have some ideas there. So staying with Mazie, then just talk about the whole. So since 7th grade and even on, how were you able to balance school, being an athlete, handle life? Things happen. Your best friend, broke up with her, whatever. I mean, all these other things happen on top of school and life and all that. So tell us just about that experience of being a student athlete.
It just comes with time management and learning how to manage your time properly. I think that's what I learned throughout my years. Like, throughout every single year, I learned how to properly manage schoolwork with my friends, with my home life. And so it's not an issue for me now, but as a younger girl, it was. But I learned to work through that.
Yeah. Now, Stratford and Columbus Catholic, similar size schools, fairly close in the grand scheme of things. So, Nadim, we'll turn to you, kind of with that same question. Coming up, obviously you got a support system out there of whatever it is, but I mean that's a lot to handle, right? I mean, you wake up, maybe there was practice in the morning sometimes. There's certainly school, then practice after school, come home, get some homework done, find some other things, maybe even want to relax sometimes. So, how did you manage through all that?
Well, for me, school comes first before anything else. So even if I have practice, I'm like, Coach, I got a ton of homework. I might have to leave a little early from practice. And he's like, okay, that's fine. Just put school first. Make sure you can stay in the sport. I'm like, yep. And, I mean, other than that, when I get home, it's just making sure I get down to my homework and not procrastinating, because otherwise that turns into a nightmare.
Facts.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. If I can attest to that firsthand, that was my pitfall the whole time being a student athlete. Is I would much rather and did much rather let the homework go, and all of a sudden it's Monday morning. I didn't do anything for a few days, and now I'm looking at a D on this test coming up as a best case. That's if I remember anything that I even talked about last week. So, yeah, I completely get it. So, all right, Rachel, I've talked a lot here. I know you've got some questions to ask some of the highest quality student athletes in the whole state of Wisconsin sitting right here. Oh, all honesty. Yeah. I mean, they are. That's why they're sitting here. So what do you want to know?
Well, just a quick question, and both of you guys can answer the same question. We'll start with Mazie. If you, when you're on the court, and it's probably doesn't happen to either one of you, but if you ever get that moment of doubt in your mind, going into a game, not sure what's going to happen, what do you do? What do you talk to yourself, and what do you say to yourself? How do you get yourself pumped back up? Because especially with the whole team on your shoulders too, how do you get yourself back into that mentality?
So I think even with the best players, you have a little doubt no matter what. So coming into the games, I would repeat to myself that we had a state team and I'm a state player. So if you just repeat that to yourself, and I made it come true, throughout the seasons here at Stratford. So I just, it's the correct mentality and what you're saying to yourself to have a positive mindset instead of talking negatively.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you think, Nadim?
For me, I just remember that soccer is 11 players. It's not one player, so I know I can rely on my teammates to pull through most of the time. And, I mean, it's just if we all do our jobs, nothing else can happen besides a win. So I just remember that, and then I feel better.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. All right, good. Well, that was pretty good, Rachel. Nice.
Thanks,
nice work there. So we'll stay with Nadim here. Just talk about some of the memories of the career. I went through some of the personal accolades, but you think other kids on the team, and then what kind of legacy do you think you left for the rest of your teammates that are going to continue on next year?
I think, I don't know, I feel like I kind of taught them how to improve yourself, maybe not so much passed on my own skills to them, but taught them how to develop their own. Like, for me, developing my skills, it was constantly going out and shooting, even in the off season, or when it's winter, playing indoor, just playing soccer as much as I can to get as good as I possibly can. And they all ask me, well, how do you get like this? And I'm like, it's just constant practice. I don't really have anything else to say. That's all it is. So I guess just leaving behind that and making sure they know how they can improve so Columbus soccer can keep up its tradition of excellence.
Yeah, excellent. All right. Now, Mazie, you were busy during fall sports. You may not have got to see any of Nadim's games or his goals. I can tell you, as his career went on, Nadim became a little more vocal with some of the officials as time went on. Talk about memories of the career, things that you've done to kind of set up your teammates now that are juniors, and you got your sister here in the audience. And then any run-ins with the officials for you?
Oh, I have had a run-in a couple times with the officials. I
knew he'd bring that up.
I might have made some choice words, and I might have got maybe a yellow card. But, that's all in good taste. Yep. Mm-hmm. I play competitively, so, what can you expect? Right. But I think throughout the years, I'm hoping to leave behind a positive reinforcement, maybe that leadership role, teaching girls how to be that leader on the court, even if you're not scoring, how to show them you have their back, how to be supportive constantly. So I'm hoping I leave something good behind for Stratford, because we're on the rise for volleyball, definitely. Yeah. So I'm hoping to keep that up.
Yeah, for sure. And part of that being on the rise is proven through the number of playoff games, and again, this will be for each of you here, but we'll stay with Mazie. So when you make the playoffs, you get to play extra games, right? You get to increase the number of games you've played in your high school career more than other schools. You can think of other schools that you played that got knocked out in the first round and all that kind of thing. So how do you put a value on having that longer experience, right? I mean, you and other seniors from other schools in the area, you were all, you had 4 years of high school, but you got to play many more playoff games than they did. So how do you kind of talk about that?
I don't know, not many people know this about me, but my freshman year I lost first round, so I felt that pain initially, and coming back from that, I never wanted to feel that again. So that's why we've been fighting every year for the playoff, to continue our matches, coming into a state game, just coming ready, fired up. So. Feeling that from early on, I learned from it a lot. Yeah,
and so Nadim, same for you, right? You get to not only play the regular season, but because of the successfulness of your team and of you, and you letting that success permeate through the rest of the team, that enabled you to have all those extra games. So how do you talk about having all those extra games, that extra experience, that extra fun?
Yeah, I mean, the playoffs are actually a lot of fun because there's more excitement before each game than the last one. Mm-hmm. So, you've got your first round, and you just want to start that one off really well so you can get to the, regional final and then hopefully win that because, it's a nice plaque. And then once you get to sectionals, you start feeling like, okay, this could be it, we're getting close. And then if you win that game, sectional finals, it's like, all right, here we are, guys, let's do this. I mean, I never got to go to state, and it, kind of sucks, but I'm going to do a sectional final. Yeah, and all those. I mean, each round you advance in the playoffs is an achievement in and of itself. And Nadim, you kind of mentioned it. Each round you go on, the crowd gets a little bigger, right? There's a little more buzz, there's a little more excitement, all that kind of stuff, and that makes it fun, right? And then along with all those things kind of come some popularity, right? You were the star of the team, right? And Evan may have some other things to say about that, and Evan probably will have some things to say about that. But along with that, comes this popularity. You come on a TV show, you get interviewed after game, all that stuff. So how do you handle popularity? Obviously, you go back to school after some knucklehead like me interviews you, and everybody saw the interview last night. So how
embarrassing. For sure.
Yeah. How does that all work out? How were you able just to keep that all in perspective?
I just take it as it comes, I guess. I mean, it's nice to be recognized, but at the end of the day, it is still a team sport, and they're all doing as much work as I am. I play forward, so I get to score the goals. That's really about it.
Right.
But Yeah, most of my friends usually tell me, like, you look like an idiot up there. And I'm like, yeah, I know.
He's like, I got
But I mean, yeah, it's just, I guess, take it as it comes and be grateful because you might not get that much recognition later in life because it's a harsh world out there. So I guess just remember it because it's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, and Mazie, I know you always had fun with things and all that kind of, but you still, same question, right? You still have to go back to school the next day, and maybe even after that first time that somebody wrote about you in the paper or somebody did a video and did a highlight or whatever. You still had that first time, and so how were you able to kind of handle all that, still go and cooperate and be good at school the next day?
You know, I do love talking to you guys. I love when you guys come out to me. I love being in the house. But, you know, of course you hate hearing your voice. When someone plays that video right in front of you, you just hate hearing your voice. But, you know, you learn to overcome it after the years carry on and you kind of get used to the interviews. So I like talking to everybody.
Yeah, yeah. Rachel, what about you? I mean, you've kind of got some of that experience. So Rachel was a volleyball player back in school, and you know, how would you kind of categorize all the hubbub that goes with being successful and all that kind of thing?
Oh my goodness! Well, thanks for the question. Thanks for the recognition and shout out. I wouldn't say success was a term I would use to describe my time playing, but I guess it's so exciting when you go to a game and you see all your classmates there from other sports that you respect and appreciate. And then people who you may not even talk to in the hallways are there to represent and support you. So that's really exciting to me. I thought that was something that did stand out in my mind as a student athlete growing up.
Yeah.
And then paying it forward, going back to their games and supporting them and rooting them on.
Okay, good. So Nadim, we'll stay in 2018, 2019, we'll graduate in May. Any sports left this school year?
No, I'm a one-sport athlete.
One sport athlete, okay. Yeah, excellent. Well, congratulations on your graduation ahead of time.
Thank you.
Good luck in the future.
Thank you.
And then where is the future taking you after high school?
I applied to UW-Madison. They haven't released admissions decisions yet, but hopefully I get in. And then I'm going to probably major in biology and apply to medical school after those 4 years and see how that goes.
All right. Attempt to walk on anything or intramurals or maybe see after you get there?
Probably just intramural stuff.
Yeah, yeah, good. You got to stay active. I mean, you're competitive, and that never goes away, right? I'm sitting here at 43, and I think I'm probably more competitive now than I ever was before. And and there's people out there that'll say, yeah, he's crazy. Okay.
A lot of things that could be said.
Yeah, thanks.
But you could just be like competitive in your schoolwork and be like, oh yeah, I gotta get that next grade, work on this and that. So good.
Yeah, all right. So Mazie, same for you. You got another half of a school year left. We got Thanksgiving break coming up, but you got another half of a school year left. Anything left this year between now and graduation?
I am joining softball again, so I'm hoping to see you guys at my games.
Look out.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
I better make a note here.
Yeah.
Softball at Stratford. Okay. All right. And then we talked a little bit here off camera. There was a picture kind of floating around with you over in Oshkosh and some other things. So, if you can kind of, have it your way or pick either got a favorite school or two, and is volleyball something you want to continue on with?
I definitely don't have a school picked out yet, but I'm looking into some, Oshkosh especially. My family goes there, and so I'm really interested in the volleyball program. They reached out to me.
What's the best plan for you freshman year?
Freshman year, I'm definitely planning on continuing my volleyball career. I can't get it out of me. It's just how competitive I am. I just can't get away from the sport. So I'm definitely continue planning on playing volleyball.
Yeah, excellent. All right. Well, we're going to let him off the hook. There was a lot of questions. That was a whole sheet full there, so we'll get rid of that. So, Rachel, wish them best of luck. Tell them congratulations, then I'll sign us out.
Good luck, congratulations. I had one more question, but whatever.
Go ahead, please.
All right, so the last question I had, and this is just for fun. So just tell me, what's one thing that your teammates would say about you that's like quirky or fun or off the collar or something that nobody knows?
I knew she was going to drum up a good one. Here we go.
Lauren, underneath,
What do you get?
What would they
say? Like a little known fact.
Like Mazie does this on the bus every time, or pre-game Nadim does this or that. What do they say? What would they say?
I know the girls complain a lot at Stratford about how I give high fives, especially when I'm angry. A lot of them complain that they can't feel their hands afterwards. Comes with it, though.
Okay.
It's a package deal.
Yeah, that's a good one. Okay.
They'd probably tell you about the time I shot really well in warm-ups and then just played the worst game of my career. and then how I never shot in warm-ups again, and it all went okay.
Okay.
So that's
usually how that works.
Superstition, I guess.
Superstitions.
Yeah.
All right.
Excellent.
Well,
Excellent.
good. Congratulations to you both.
Thank you.
I appreciate you guys being here today and playing the best that you could your whole career, and it's just been a wonderful time covering both of you guys and your entire teams and the sports too.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we made a note about softball, so we'll keep that one.
Definitely. Keep that in the back here.
In the back of our mind. We're going to get through winter sports here in the meantime. I know we'll see you both at your games. I know you're both active in supporting your teammates. I've certainly seen you at other events. I'm sure you'll continue through winter sports. So we'll see you then. Again, congratulations on everything. Best of luck in the future. Mazie Nagel, Nadim Torbey, our 2018 Zaleski Sports Athletes of the Year. Guys, thanks for watching this special episode of the Zaleski Sports Show, and we'll see you next time.
Wisconsin Rapids Awards and More is more than just awards. They engrave guns, glass, wood, stainless steel, along with metal plates. Yes, they still provide custom trophies and medals for your event. At Awards and More, they even do t-shirts. Awards and More than just awards. 3622 8th Street South in Wisconsin Rapids. See them on Facebook and on the web.